Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Labor Day, everyone.
Happy Labor Day. We're working when no one else is working. Well, you're working.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I get my paid holiday, and I'm going to work on top of it because, no one ever had too much money.
Sorry, I was just making sure that I could hear myself
Yeah.
and hear us. We're good. We're good.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thumbs
we
up.
made it. We made it to Piper Academy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Good Morning Crypto on Piper Academy.
We've been talking about it for a while, and we are finally here. So,
We made it.
good morning, Anthony Soprano.
Good morning, Tony. Mr. Tony Soprano.
Here bright and early.
I love it. Well, it's not really bright and early for Mr. Soprano. What's an alumni? Well, if you sign up for the link below, you could become an alumni in the description.
You're an
Oh, yeah?
honorary alumni, Tony.
Yeah, he's an honorary alumni. So what do we have for the beautiful people today, this morning?
So this morning, I've got a little article pulled up about the market's waiting on the job data that is coming later this week. It should be Friday that we see markets start posturing off of that data that we get on whether they think we'll get a 25 basis point cut or a 50 basis point cut. So this is why you've seen a lot of sliding down on some of the prices on your risk assets. But we will see.
Makes sense.
We will see at the end of the week what people really think on that.
Ballin' Wallen's in the chat. What is going on? And he said, hey, guys, new show? Yes, new show. Clay the Great. Hooty hoo. First one. Yes, it's the first one. Guys, we're excited to be here. Don't forget to hit that like button to help us out. Help the new show out. Help boost us in the YouTube algorithms.
And if
So,
you're
yeah,
not subscribed, make sure to hit subscribe too. So
Yep.
that you can also help the algorithm. Let me
All right.
get some little data pulled up for the peoples. We've got the stock heat map pulled up. Stock market is closed today, so anything that is going on is going to be all private sales, but everything's still up from last week. A lot of green numbers, so we'll see how that affects the crypto market today. On the crypto side of things, we do have Bitcoin up 1.89%, Ethereum's up 3.89%, BNB is up 1.37%, Solana is up 2.5%. We've got Dogecoin up 2.2%, Cardano's up 6.63%, and Lido staked ETH is up 3.89%.
A little bit of green across the board.
Oh yeah, looking like a nice Labor Day. So
Looking
far.
like a nice setup for a for a fake out. It looks like.
That too.
We'll
'Cause
get into that though.
most definitely. For today, there was no important data dropping because the government's not doing anything today. They got the day off. But later this week, we do have some data dropping. We have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. That should be a medium affecting drop. we do have ISM manufacturing employment and ISM manufacturing new orders and ISM manufacturing PMI. Those combined will be a decent data mover for the markets on Tuesday. So that's the first posturing for the week. Later in the week, we will get some job numbers, but we'll get into that later in the week. Let me pull up the fear and greed. We've got the crypto markets at 26, which is fear. I don't know why everyone's afraid when they should be buying. Not financial advice, of course, but that's just one man's lowly opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know, when we see fear, we think, oh, buy. And when we see greed, we think, oh, sell. Like, especially when you are on the extremes of either one of those. If you're in extreme fear, it's basically almost always a good time to buy. Not financial advice, I'm just saying. I mean, buy when there's blood in the streets.
Most definitely. Even if it's your blood, you know?
Definitely, even if it's your blood. I mean, I want my blood back, to be honest.
Give me my blood back and a little bit more on top of it. Let me hop over to that first article of the day. So, we have global stocks stall with U.S. markets closed on Labor Day. Why the next job report is key. Global markets were muted on Monday. That would have been our Sunday night, you know, because Japan opens up at 7:30 Central Time. So I always like to get a little look in. But with the U.S. markets closed, traders are bracing for the arrival of jobs data later in the week, which are expected to help determine how the Federal Reserve goes about cutting interest rates. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was down 1.7%. Chinese economic data released over the weekend pointed to a fourth straight month of contraction in the manufacturing sector. Electric vehicle maker NIO dropped 4.9%, and its peer Li Auto fell 4.6% despite EV sales climbing in China in August. Japan's Nikkei 225 rose 0.1%, while South Korea's Kospi Composite Index gained 0.3%. The Stoxx Europe 600 Index was falling 0.4% in morning trading. The New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq will be closed in observance of Labor Day. The key data for the week will be the U.S. jobs report due out Friday, which is expected to play a large part in whether the Federal Reserve's cut its benchmark rate by a quarter percentage point or a half point at its policy meeting in September. If the consensus is right about Friday's job report, 165,000 job gains and a drop in unemployment rate back down to 4.2%, then market pricing will firm up just a 25 basis point cut at the start of the Fed's easing cycle on 18th September, wrote ING analyst Chris Turner in a research note. I know you've talked a lot about how you are only expecting a 25 basis point cut even before we get all this data. So
yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see them cutting any more than that. And you've spoke on this as well. Is that, you know, anything over 25 basis points kind of seems like they're going to or would scare the market. So, and I don't think they wanted to scare the market. So, and I think Jay Powell is probably Chair Powell is probably likely to take his time with the cutting process. You know, they don't want to cut too fast, too quickly, or too much too quickly, rather. And because you know they want that ever elusive soft landing. which doesn't seem too elusive. Seems like they've been doing a fairly decent job, to be quite honest. But
Oh yeah.
uh,
I mean, with how much everyone's complained about how slow moving he is and how he didn't cut
mhm.
rates soon enough and oh, a soft landing isn't possible. He's done a pretty spectacular job of posturing us for a soft landing. Did it take a
You
while?
know.
Yes, but he's done a decent job at it.
I mean, it's like trying to steer. It's like trying to take a carrier and turn it on a dime. Like you're just not gonna do it. It's gotta go slowly, right?
Yep.
Because the U.S. economy is massive, so you can't just things don't just happen like quickly. Things take time. Things take time, especially when you're correct. When you're trying to right the ship. It's just yeah. But they've done a decent job. No matter how much they flub the numbers and make us, uh, well, who knows? Maybe they haven't really done a decent job.
I mean,
Maybe they're just
they've done better than some other countries have done, but not better than other countries. We're doing okay in comparison.
I agree. In comparison, I agree.
Tony Soprano says just effing up the world economy, but no biggie.
We don't care about the rest of y'all.
This
The
is
U.S. is doing
America.
fine. Come here, you'll be all right.
But I
Don't.
can throw that over to you so that you can show the people what you
Mhm.
got pulled up on Bitcoin for the morning.
I'll just do a quick little overview because I was not expecting you to send it over to me because I wasn't. Okay.
All
Oh
right,
yeah.
let
Are
me
we
get
on
that
me?
swapped over for you.
Thank you. All right. I know why he swaps it over so that he could vape real quick because I know that's why he swaps it over. But so Bitcoin, what do we get over the weekend? Over the weekend, we got a monthly close, guys, and it was the first time that we saw a monthly close below $60,000. Really below. What is this price over here? If I put this over here, $60,622 per the Coinbase chart, but we'll just call it an even 60. Okay, we'll just call it an even $60,000. First time since January that we got a close below $60,000. Honestly, in my opinion, we are looking pretty on the bearish side. Looking pretty bearish, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and zoom out real quick to the 3 month. One thing that you will get on this channel with me is I do a lot of fair value gaps. I do a lot of TA. Probably not your. There's some normal stuff, but there's also a lot of smart money concepts is what I use pretty often, and fair value gaps is part of that. Now, what we did on the 3 month and what I was expecting before we even started this quarter. Once this one closed and we created this fair value gap, I did expect us in this quarter to move down into that fair value gap. As we did, we came right down, bounced right off of the center point there at about $50,000. And now we've kind of started to get the push up. I was expecting for us to come down into that fair value gap and then for us to expand higher. Um, I don't know so much that I expect that now. Now it kind of seems to me like this is going to be a consolidation type of or quarter. So we're just going to consolidate, and then the final quarter we can expand higher. That makes the most sense to me at this moment. But that monthly closing below 60K for the first time since January is pretty interesting to me. But what I have marked off is last year's high, that the 2023 high right here. at $45,000. Now, we don't have to test this, but I would like for Bitcoin, since we broke out of that level, that price level, that $45,000, we have not come back down to test it for support. So I am kind of leaning towards us coming down and testing that for support, at the very least, that level right there. Now, what you can see, we have a lot of volume down here on the visible range volume profile, but we do have a point of control right here at $42,773. So that's basically the midpoint of this consolidation range right here. So that is a possibility for us to get down to. I'm not saying it's guaranteed or anything like that, but it is a possibility. And I would at least probably set an order there. We can see all the volume there, right? We can see all the volume there. But it wouldn't hurt, probably, in my opinion, not financial advice, to just go ahead and toss an order on there. We also have this trend line, this long-standing trend line since the bottom of the bear market that we have been getting some bounces off of like this. So I'm kind of leaning towards us consolidating a little further, maybe hitting down here, maybe a poke through to hit that $45,000 mark, and then we can come back into the range and then get moving and putting in higher highs and higher lows. But yeah, for right now, I mean, technically we are still putting in higher lows, so we are still good on the bull front. Hey man, it might take us a little longer than we expected. Look at this consolidation range right here. I mean, this one took forever as well to play out, and we're just getting another consolidation range, and that's just how it goes. We just gotta wait, be patient, and then maybe the next move will be another massive one, like this one before. So, we'll get into the more, this week, what I'm thinking about this week later in the show. But for now, yeah, I'm still, we're still okay. I mean, the point is, even if we come all the way down to below 45K, to 45K or lower, as long as we're not coming down here and breaking these lows down here at 25, I think we're okay. Now, 38 is a pretty significant level too. I wouldn't write that one off. But I don't think that's end of bull market. I mean, for a while I was thinking this might be the end of the bull market, but just the mere fact that we had this long consolidation range down here wasn't near as long as either one of these, I would make this my low, for sure. We can cross this and still be okay. I wouldn't like to see a close below 38. I'll say that. A close above that will be, and I think we're okay. A little wick below that, I think we're okay. But getting a close, staying above that is necessary, I would say, for our bull market to continue. But yeah, I would just it's just be patient, man. For me, it's just about stacking sats, and just that's the name of the game for me right now. So anything in this green box, I'm pretty much buying. Anything below 56K, I'm a buyer. So yeah, that's what I got on that. Just a little quick overview, Bitcoin overview for you.
I have got a little chart pulled up that I had shared in LBC's Discord yesterday. It is a historical overview of Bitcoin's price action on election timeframes. So here's us right now, sitting on September. And as you can see with historical movements, we are right on track. We got a little overheated at the beginning. That's when the ETFs launched and we saw all-time highs. And then we've slowly just cooled back down to match up with previous cycles. and you have the elections here in November coming up, and right around that time is when you start seeing more of a slow move up into the movements that we've all been waiting for. You know, I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter, or X as it's now called, about people saying, "Oh no, the bull market's over." Like, we've been through all this before. The bull market is just getting started. It's barely gotten started. Piper has said several times that we're only like 40% into this thing, and the big gains have not made it here yet. And if you've been paying attention and you've looked at the history, this is just the time to keep stacking. You know, when you see those lower dips where it's, oh no, the market's down 15%, that's the time that you click buy and you just wait. You wait for the next one. Oh, we're down 10% today. Okay, well, is this lining up with other historical price movements? Okay, click buy and you got a nice entry. And those are the times where you get to lower your entries on assets. And that's what you want. You want to buy low, sell high, or buy high, sell higher. But all of this range right now, before we get to this election, is all consolidation before the bigger move up, and that's what we want to see. So, nothing to worry about. Just be patient. We will get there. I'm gonna toss that back over to you, LVC.
I couldn't disagree with you more. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you could, but I got the data to back it.
You ain't got nothing. Nah, I'm just over here looking at the Dixie, looking at this. I've had this drawn out for a couple of weeks now. Just a nice little triangle that got built up in here. I mean, yeah, we could say that this was a little consolidation range, like such. And, we're still technically inside of that consolidation range. But as you can see, I do expect us to come back up to this previous support, and I would like to see it turn into resistance. Now, horizontal support and resistance is a little stronger. This is more diagonal support, obviously. But, we do have kind of like a midpoint of this range right here at about 103.66. So I could see the Dixie come up. As the Dixie comes up, it is inverse correlated on a macro scale to Bitcoin. Therefore, if this is coming up, we would expect Bitcoin and crypto and risk on assets in general to come down. So I could see a couple of weeks, possibly leading into the Fed rate cut decision on the 18th, as Bitcoin is still tumbling a little lower, as I'm thinking it might do. We could see and it is kind of favoring more. I wouldn't say favoring the upside, but we did take over 50% of last week's candle, which does mean that we could see a little bit more. It is seeking higher liquidity in my eyes. So coming back up to test that midpoint of this consolidation range and the upwards trending resistance, former support. Now we want to turn it into resistance before we get the rollover as such. So I would do, and if we just do a measured move on this triangle, this is how I get that to, I think I get the Dixie to target down here in the 90s, or right around 90. And it's been down here before, so it's not like it's anything crazy. Zoom out a little bit. We can see that this is just, we had a breakout above, let's see, one sec. We had some consolidation. We broke out above it, kind of on top of it now. And then, but once we fall back through, it's almost just like a straight shot, straight back down to the other side of the range. So that is what I'm looking at on the Dixie. And if it does break down from here at about 100, essentially, break below 100, and that thing is probably just going to start crashing. And that is when our assets, our risk on assets, just our risky assets start going to the moon, quote unquote. So, yep, just a little more time on that. I think we'll have, Dixie's one of those where, I kind of play it week by week instead of day by day because it's so big. It is the world reserve currency after all. So, but it doesn't mean it can't move quickly, relatively quickly for what it is. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting on the Dixie. Is just I would like to see a move up. Honestly, I would like to see that. I would like to see the Dixie move up as Bitcoin and everything else is kind of moving down or at least going sideways, and then Fed rate comes in and it just crashes. That's kind of what I'm looking at on the Dixie. So would love to see that. Would definitely help us in our bags. So what else? What you got?
I have got Ethereum pulled up. We ended up filling this fair value gap from the daily time frame that I had talked about over on your channel when we were doing our test streams there. We do have this fair value gap that we have ended up bouncing off twice now. We got a little wick into it here and a little wick into it here. This fair value gap sits from 2,349 and goes to 2,412. And I'm looking at coming up to the top of this old fair value gap, sitting around 2,547 and seeing a slight rejection before we come down here and fill this fair value gap for the week. So that's kind of my eyes on Ethereum. We do have some bearish divergences on the prime oscillator. We did hit the oversold range, but we didn't move too much out of that range. So there's not a whole lot of strength. But as you can see back here, we do have a lot of strength down here in the lower 2,000 range. So not financial advice, but I would maybe set some limit orders down here in this range and pick you up some cheap Ethereum. I will toss that back over to you.
Oh, hey, that was really short, BC.
Yeah.
Really short.
Extra
It wasn't even 2 minutes.
Short and sweet.
So yeah, I'm looking at I'm back over here at Bitcoin, checking this out. So we do have a high volume node here sitting at about 50. This is, by the way, this is the Blofin perp chart on the 1 hour. We have the POC sitting at about 59,150. I would expect price to get up to there probably today. And then from there, I will be looking for possible bearish divergences, anything that can signal to me that I need to go short. We do have our quantum reactor powered by a chart prime that is giving us the that we are not clear. It is red. Okay, so when it is red, it means we are looking for shorts. When it is gray, it means we are consolidating into indecisive. And when it is green, it means we are bullish. So if you have any kind of signals that pop up, like if I come over here to the Market Oracle Plus, and I come over here and I turn on a buy, sell, and all of these signals. And let's make sure that we're on moderate. So anytime these signals pop up, if we get a strong sell, if we get this sell signal when we are above the quantum reactor and it is green, we will negate that sell signal. It doesn't exist. Okay? Because the quantum reactor is still saying, hey, we're bullish. This is likely a false signal. This one would have been a great signal, but we would have still treated it as a false signal unless you can take in other types of price action to help guide you. Like we get reversal signals here, we get a max profit signal here. We popped above the quantum bands. This is just, and we're kind of stalling out and trading sideways. This was last week. Last week on the show, I said, man, this is looking kind of toppy to me. And like, sure enough, I said, look for a move up. And then I would expect for the rest of the week to be down. And that is exactly what we ended up getting last week. Now, the signals are great, all of that stuff. You still have to understand price action. My big thing is price action. That I've got to see price action develop and in a certain way in order for me to be comfortable with making any types of moves in these markets, especially on a short-term basis, because I do a lot of day trading. I do a lot of scalping in and out of the market a lot, but I also do swing trading, position trading, all that stuff. I'm not real heavy into altcoins, really, to be honest. I'm more of a trader, more of a day trader, and Bitcoin stacker is kind of my thing. But yeah, I would expect some upside today. Probably maybe even going into Wednesday, maybe some upside. It all depends on what we do at this high volume node. If we can break through this high volume node, and I can bring in a little extra data in here on the volume, if we can break through this level, then I would expect us to maybe come up to the value area high around 61.8, 61.9. We also have this little sell-off here, this order block sitting right up here, right in that area. So wouldn't that be surprised for us to see a poke above the quantum reactor and then possibly come back down? And maybe, hopefully, we can hold that point of control for support, and then we can continue higher. But zoomed out, I think that would be short-lived, and that this is Wednesday. I am kind of looking for a midweek reversal type of deal where we kind of have Monday up, maybe Tuesday sideways down, and then Wednesday up. And then from there, we just roll over. That is kind of what I'm kind of thinking for this week. But today, I think maybe we see some upside. I think we'll cool off a little bit of the day, but by the end of the day, I think we'll be trending to the upside. After afternoon, probably, maybe. There's no data, so there's nothing to really drive the market. It is Labor Day. It could be stale, to be honest. It could be really stale. We could even form a inverse head and shoulders here. Now that would be nice, because that could break us through that point of control. But that would have us not doing that until Tuesday or late this evening, maybe during the London session. I mean, a lot of moves happen during London session. I wish I was awake when that was going on. But yeah, I'm kind of just sitting on my hands, just waiting for Bitcoin to get to the levels that I want it to get to before I make a decision. And seeing how strong and how weak it is. But right now, it's pushing to the upside, but we are getting a little bit of momentum. Is starting to slow down a little bit. Come down to the shorter term time frames, to the 10-minute. We are at the value area high of this little range here. Yeah, we are at the value area high of this little range. Maybe we can get a pullback to that POC. Let's go ahead and pull up a VWAP, see where our VWAP is sitting. Anywhere? Hello, VWAP? Are you alive? Oh, wait, I think I don't. Yeah, I got to change this to session. There we go. So yeah, our VWAP is sitting down here. I could see that moving up and us getting into that, tapping that VWAP, and then continuing higher. Yep, it's a little early to tell. Markets aren't even open today, so it's going to be kind of a, for me, if the markets aren't even open, I kind of just sit on my hands and don't do anything. I probably won't even make a trade today unless I see something super clean But outside of that, I'm not really seeing anything super clean that I really want to see. I mean, we can break this high here at 58.6. If we can break above that and then get like some consolidation on top of it, then I would probably consider maybe firing off along a little or a little long scalp, I should say, to that upper level 60,000, and yeah, maybe making a couple percent gains on that move. Something like that. Or maybe if we can come down to this point of control and hold that, then maybe I can get a few percent, 3.9% out of that. Out of that. Let's see, put this right here. Little 1%, little 3, and a little 3 to 1 is what I would be looking for on that. There we go. 3 to 1. 57,995, 58,000. We'll call it to 60.2. 58,000 to 60,000 seems like a good range, with the 57,000 as my stop loss. That seems like a perfect trade setup for me personally. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking at right there on Bitcoin. This would be take profit 1, take profit 2. BC, you got another headline? What you got?
Yes, I do have another headline. Let me get that swapped over. I have Blockdag signs second football deal. And this is football, not football, for you Americans.
That's
you know?
football.
Yeah.
For us Americans? What do you mean you Americans?
Well, I don't watch football. I watch football. So I am of that class of people. I played.
You're an elitist. I see.
No. I played the most played sport in the world growing up. So I was never a fan of American football. I ended up dislocating. I dislocated both of my shoulders during doing Oklahoma tackle drills in 7th grade, and just never went back.
Oh, so you're soft. You're just telling me you're soft. I mean, it's okay.
Have you seen a football slide tackle? There's nothing soft about football.
It'll just take out your ankles.
Oh yeah, you don't need those things anyway.
You don't need ankles or shins.
No.
Who needs
no.
ankles and shins?
And
who needs heads?
Yeah, just thighs straight to foot. That'd be ideal.
It always blows my mind when I see them do that when they what is it when they're doing the corner kick and they're all just slinging their heads at each other and I'm just like
Oh yeah. No, I definitely got a concussion playing football cuz I took out two defenders at once. We just like slammed into each other and just like heads to heads. And like they ended up on the ground and I ended up with a concussion. So But
jeez.
Let me hop into this article. Got Blockdag signing a second football deal. Sponsors Inter Milan for multi-million-dollar. Blockdag has managed to capture the spotlight again with its second big football deal. The latest being the crypto company's partnership with Italian giant Inter Milan. Although the exact financials of the deal were not revealed, it was labeled a multi-million-dollar sponsorship deal. Crypto money is flowing into football. The sponsorship deal with Inter Milan came only a few days after Blockdag spent $10 million to partner with Borussia Dortmund, BVB, one of Germany's largest football clubs. For Inter Milan, it was the second crypto deal, as the football club has already onboarded Gate.io on its sleeve. Sponsor Anthony Turner, CEO of Blockdag Source. This collaboration not only enhances our brand, but also positions us at the forefront of blockchain adoption in mainstream sports, said Anthony Turner. about the recent sponsorship with Italian Football Club. Under the terms of the deal with Inter Milan, Blockdag will begin marketing opportunities from the stands and screens in the club's San Siro Stadium, which can accommodate 75,817 spectators. The branding will appear on the big screen, and LED wall advertising will be used during Inter Milan's home matches. The official announcement pointed out that the branding will extend beyond the pitch into other areas of the club's facilities. This is big news for everyone that's saying that the bull market is over. You know, this is what we saw last time. Oh no, David's internet probably went poo-poo again. But this is big news for everyone that has been saying that the bull market is over. These were the signals that we saw last time around as things were really starting to heat up, and we started to see all of these pairings with crypto companies and with influencers making their own crypto projects, and everyone just hopping on the bandwagon because, you know, this was where a lot of money was at. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on this article, but I see this as the start to the kickoff on the real bull run.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it as a way for to drive retail adoption. Because I mean, that's basically what we're missing in this space is just retail adoption. I mean, especially now that you have 537 million ridiculous. I'm bringing this to this channel. I don't care. Meme coins that are useless and have no use case whatsoever. Thank you, Solana, for bringing that garbage to our space and making people waste their money on that stuff instead of putting it in actual utility and stuff that people will actually use in the future. But, you know, let's make some gains and have some fun at the same time. But, you know, I'm kind of ready. You know, I'm an adult. I'm ready to kind of, you know, I want my bags to go up and I want stuff that's useful to go up and stuff that many of us have been holding for years. That would be nice. Stuff that that can actually solve some problems in the real world. But any kind of adoption, I guess, is good. I think meme coins are kind of the opposite for adoption because people get in, 90% of them get rugged or they lose their money and they never come back. So this whole meme coins are good for adoption narrative, I think, is a bunch of crap. But yeah, I just give me some utility, and I'm all there for it. Give me some utility there, and I'm game. You know, one day it's going to be the fact that people are still thinking that crypto is a scam, and those same people are going to be using cards or using their phones or something that run on blockchain technology, and they won't even know it. But it won't be a meme coins technology. I can guarantee you that it will not be a meme coins technology. No guarantees, I guess. Knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know. Adoption is good, but people need to flock to the right things. Otherwise, the adoption just kind of turns into a net negative when people get hurt and they never return to the space. And then they end up using the very technology that they were getting into later on in life without even noticing it. But
most definitely. And that's why we've seen a lot of your tier 1 projects in the crypto space kind of lag behind because everyone's trying to play that get rich quick thing on memes that are just a shitcoin. It's like, ooh, look at the cute puppy. Look at the cute cat. It's got laser eyes. Let me buy that thing. It's only like 0.0000001 cent. So if it goes up, if it loses one of those zeros, I'm rich. And then it goes the opposite way, and they're like, "What happened?"
Why did I lose 90% of my money? I don't understand. I was in this whole community. That community was nothing but bots.
Yeah. There was 90,000
Yeah, good.
users in the Telegram.
Yeah, good luck figuring out if it's real people or AI.
Yep.
Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Speaking of Solana,
Do you want to pull that
it's
up for
under
the
a,
peoples?
it's under a strong sell signal,
You,
and underneath the quantum reactor. The
I will
quantum reactor is red.
I will toss that over to you and you show the people that chart.
Yep. So this is on the 4 hour for Solana. We do have a strong sell signal, and we are underneath the quantum reactor that is red. So we did get a sell off. So now that may have played out. Um, I really don't care about Solana. It is putting some bull divs in. It is showing some bullish signs down here. So we could be seeing a little bit of a pop up. I mean, it's kind of the same thing across the board for me for most of crypto. Maybe we get a pop up, come out, clear these equal highs right here, and yeah, get back into this golden pocket and kind of see from there. This is a consolidation range. This is what I like to see. Typically, when we move fast one way towards one side of a range, we'll move fast to the other side of the range, and then from there, we'll see. Because I mean, this could be the start of a new 5 wave structure to the upside, or it could just be the wrapping up of we've got a ABC correction. Actually, this came up short, so that wouldn't even count, uh, to be honest. So this is on the 4 hour, so the moves will be bigger. Let's see, pull back, pull up, consolidate. I would be careful and be mindful of a possible rejection here. On Solana. Yeah. That's very possible. But usually when we push down real hard towards one end of a consolidation range, we will at least pull back 50%. Um, and then from there, I would consider if it was to consolidate, that is your highest probability of a long to the upside to take out those highs. Something along those lines is what I would like to see if I'm going to like fire off a short-term scalp, a long scalp. Maybe this quantum reactor comes down and we can sit there and we can bounce on top of it, consolidate on top of it, and push higher. Or if we consolidate below it and put in some bearish divergences, then we can head lower. So again, I'm kind of just in a wait and see mode. I need more price action to develop in order for me to really uh, feel strongly one way or the other. It kind of seems like it's just going to be kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, that's typically what happens on on holidays. Is it's kind of boring typically. It is low volume, so if whales do decide to come in and put in some orders, they can move the market uh, more easily than normal because they're not fighting institutions. So you could see some quick moves, but I would expect them to be short lived. And yeah, I'd be looking at the oscillators, making sure, seeing what we're looking at down there. I mean, everything is below the zero line. So, I mean, this is just showing pure weakness in this chart. So until this gets back above the zero line and this starts moving, putting in higher highs, I would just be cautious and be on the lookout for that possible pullback into that range right there at about 140, 148 for Solana. So watch that 148 level. If we start putting in some, if the momentum if this kind of shoots up, actually, if the momentum shoots up really fast, any oscillator, okay, RS RSI, MACD, whatever it is, if your momentum shoots up really fast after it bottoms out and you're only getting about halfway to a range, it is a very good idea to start thinking about going short, because that is likely whales, market makers, whatever, just seeking liquidity so that they can grab it and pull price lower. That is happens so often, especially when that price is really getting moving. I mean, right here we see that price really getting moving, our momentum really getting moving, and then it just falls over. So what we prefer to see is some slow grinds to the upside, or at least a push up and then a consolidation and then a push up and a consolidation, something like that. But when it's just a straight line to the upside, it is almost always just market makers, whales, what have you, seeking liquidity so that they can pull the price lower. And it's the same in the opposite direction. If it's a quick move down, typically that is to grab liquidities to move price higher. PC.
I have got Injective pulled up. This is my biggest alt holding, so I keep my eye on it quite a bit. We hit some of the buy ranges that I was talking about before. If we had come down and lost this strong level here at $18.60, that we would come down and lose some of these levels and get down to our golden pocket. We fell into our golden pocket and saw some very heavy buying pressure right down here before we ended up losing that golden pocket level. With our prime oscillator showing a reversal signal and getting a little curvature, along with the MACD finally crossed to the upside but still on below zero, I am looking at coming back on top of this golden pocket at $17.13 before we come back down a little bit further. I would have my eye on this platinum pocket that's sitting at $15.54. So that's where I'd have my eye. That's where I have my eye set on some more entries on my Injective HODL bag. I am very, very bullish on Injective. It is the only DeFi project I actually hold. It is a solid project. So that's just what I've had my eye on for today on Injective. I know we will probably get some low liquidity pumps. So that golden pocket range is right there for the taking before we start seeing some more downside, because we are in a decent downtrend across the whole market. So if you zoom out, you can kind of get the picture. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So this is why I've just been doing DCAs and trading low leverage and swing trading to get more dry powder for my DCAs. So I will toss that back over to the dual screen and we can talk the people out.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was just looking over here at the S&P, at the SPX. And
let me show that screen for people.
Yeah, I was just noticing how it kind of looks like it might break to the upside when we open up tomorrow. So that kind of makes me think that we will see further upside today in crypto. Maybe. But it kind of coincides with my thesis that we might see a little push up. And this could give us a little bit of a bearish divergence, possibly if it gets that push up and our momentum doesn't really move too much. We could get a bearish divergence in there that could pull us back down to help us take out these equal lows that are sitting here on the S&P. Just kind of goes hand in hand with my up Monday and Tuesday, at least in crypto, and then maybe a last little gasp for air on Wednesday, and then we pull back down to the downside for a nice little pullback. I mean, we do have a gap down here that we could get into at about 5,500 on the S&P, and that would likely bring everything else down with it. Well, most stuff down with it, because it is the S&P. It's a massive index. But yeah, man, first show on Piper Academy. I think it went well. It might have been one of our best shows somehow, some way.
I would definitely agree. I
Yeah.
think we did the right move doing 2 weeks of shows over on your channel before we moved over. We got a nice little rhythm now.
Yeah, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at GM, that is for good morning, GM Crypto Show. Follow me at Lunar Beaches. Follow BC at...
It's Blackie Cha 577. There's no N on the end of that, so
Blackacha.
yeah.
Blackacha.
I think that one was already taken, so maybe I made an old Twitter account.
Excellent. Well, yep. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. Thank you for all your lovely comments. The show is going to be a work in progress. We want to bring you as much pre-market alpha as possible, pre-market. From after today, we will be going live 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Today we just I didn't have work, and he didn't have to go in until later, so we decided to, hey, let's sleep in an extra 30 minutes today. And but yeah, man, it was a great show. I'm glad everything kind of went off without a hitch, and I appreciate everybody for coming in and joining the show and saying hello and giving some input. I love it, and I love being over here at the Piper Academy and being part of everything of the growth and being here with you, the alumni. So thanks for having us.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Make sure to tune in later today on this channel to the morning market open at 9:30 Eastern Time. There will be LBC on the show, so there's definitely going to be a banger of a show for Labor Day. Other than that, make sure to
Crypto Nightcap.
Tune into Crypto Nightcap at 7:30 Eastern Time.
It's Central.
Right? 7:30 Central, so 8:30 Eastern Time. There we go. Yeah.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. Most definitely. Hit that like and subscribe down at the bottom. It helps the channel grow and allows us to give you guys more of what you want to see on a daily basis. So, other than that, everyone, wake up.
Today's going to be a good day.